Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Have a pleasant day to us. Before that, my name is Lamar H. Untoa, the first reporter in Chapter 3. So my topic for today is the contribution of Al-Ash'ari to Islamic thought. So we are going to discuss the contribution of Al-Ash'ari to Islamic thought. So, didiscuss o tatalakayin natin kung ano ba ang mga naging contribution ng Al-Ash'ari pagdating sa Islamic thought. We have mentioned elsewhere that the purpose of Ilm al-Kalam is to justify the basic tenets of Kalam on the basis of reason and to assert whether it is possible to know God, His essence and attributes, specifically are generally with the help of such factors as the meaning of creation, motion, and rest, body and accidents. The most disputed area of discussion is God's essence and attributes. The Mu'tazilit think it contrary to oneness if it is maintained that God has knowledge, power, example the internal entities. Those who maintain them are called Sifatiyya or the attributists, and those who deny are called Mu'attila or the stripers. So dito sa definition ng contribution of Al-Ash'ari to Islamic thought, ang purpose daw ng Ilm al-Kalam ay to justify or kung paano natin malalaman yung pinaka-basic na pagsuri o pagkilala sa nag-iisang Diyos pagdating sa kanyang essence and attributes. So, the most disputed area of discussion is God's essence and attributes. So, ang pinaka-disputed daw ng discussion pagdating sa paniniwala sa Diyos o nag-iisang Diyos is sa kanyang essence and attributes. The Mu'tazilit think it contrary to oneness if it is maintained that God has knowledge, power, example the eternal entities. So ang Mu'tazilit daw o bago naging Al-Ash'ari ay ang thinking daw nila ay contrary, kumbaga salungat dun sa pinaka or oneness ng God pagdating sa kanyang knowledge, power, example is internal entities. So those who maintain them are called Sifatiyya or attributes, and those who deny are called Mu'attila, stripers. So yung mga tao daw na nagme-maintain ng sifa o the essence and attributes ng Panginoon or ng God ay tinatawag nilang Sifatiyya or the attributist. So yung mga hindi naman naniniwala, dinedeny nila na ganito is walang essence or hindi totoo yung essence and attributes ng Panginoon or God, is tinatawag nilang Mu'attila or stripers o yung mga taong naguhubad o yung mga taong lantarang naguhubad sa karamihan. They are called it the person who acts or dances in a seductive, provocative manner and gradually removes their clothing piece by piece, especially to the accompaniment of music. So yan yung mga taong dinideny o hindi nila pinaniniwalaan yung essence and attributes ng God. So the next is Shahrastani says, concerning the revealed attributes, there were two schools of thought among the early leaders. One school interpreted them in a way that could be suggested by the words themselves. The other group abstained from interpretation. They said, "We know from reason that there is nothing like God. Therefore, God does not resemble any created thing, nor does any created thing resemble him. This we are sure of, that we do not know. However, the meaning of the words apply to him in such statements as the Beneficent sat on the throne. I created with my hand. God came," and the like. We need not know the explanation of these verses, nor how to interpret them, but we are obliged to believe that God has no partner and that there is nothing like Him, that we have shown beyond doubt. So, ang sabi daw ni Shahrastani, isang Muslim historian at isa ring Al-Ashari, ay pagdating daw sa attributes ng God ay may dalawang eskwelahan in the early leaders. Among the early leaders, ang iba-iba yung kanilang interpretasyon pagdating sa attributes ng Panginoon. Bagkus, ang pinagkakasunduan lang nila is yung paniniwala nila na ang God o ang Panginoon ay walang partner. Ni isa ay wala siyang kaparehas. So, yan yung pinag-iisa nila na paniniwala pagdating sa paniniwala sa Panginoon. So, yan yung mga interpretasyon ng dalawang school na yan in the early leaders, sabi ni Shahrastani. So, next. He further says, among those early leaders who did not follow the principle of interpretation or adopt anthropomorphism was Malik bin Anas, Ahmad bin Hanbal, Sufyan al-Thawri, and Dawood bin Ali al-Asfahani, and their followers held the same view. These are the orthodox groups, particularly the Zahirites, the Mujassimites, Anthropomorphists, the Muhaddithun or the Traditionalists, and the Jurists, all of whom were wholly opposed to the use of reason or kalam in defending or explaining religious dogmas and condemn any discussion about them as innovation. So, karagdagan na sinabi ni Shahrastani na among those early leaders daw is hindi sila sumusunod sa pagdating sa pag-interpret ng principle or pag-adapt ng anthropomorphism. Sino-sino yun? Sabi ni Shahrastani, ito yun ay sila Malik bin Anas, Ahmad bin Hanbal, Sufyan al-Thawri, and Dawood bin Ali al-Asfahani, at ang kanilang mga followers o ang kanilang mga tagasunod ay isa lang yung kanilang view pagdating sa pag-interpret ng principle o pag-adapt ng anthropomorphism. So, ito naman yung mga orthodox groups na engage o kasali sa Al-Ashari. Ito yung mga Zahirites, the Mujassimites or the Anthropomorphists, the Muhaddithun, yung mga Traditionalists, and the jurists. Lahat daw na lahat ng Orthodox groups na daw ito ay were wholly opposed. Ibig sabihin, hindi sila sang-ayon sa paggamit ng reason or paggamit ng kalam sa pag-defend or pag-explain ng religious dogmas. Itong religious dogmas is yung religious belief, yung paniniwala sa isang relihiyon, and condemn any discussion about them as innovation. So pagdating daw sa discussion is kino-condemn nila, tinuturo nila itong innovation o bago. So next, Al-Ash'ari at the first stage had to confront them. He tried his best to justify kalam. For this purpose, he wrote a risala entitled Islah fi Istihsan al-Kaud fi Ilm al-Kalam, or in English, A Vindication of the Science of Kalam. At the second, he countered those whom he believed to hold views contrary to Islam, especially in his books Al-Luma and Al-Ibana. He criticized Kharija for their strict belief in Wa'id, those anthropomorphists believing in God having human form or body, and especially Mu'tazilites for their denial of attributes, belief in createdness of the Quran, belief in Qadar, denial of beatific vision, and etc. We at first mentioned his justification of kalam. So ang Al-Ash'ari ay una ay kinonfront nila yung mga Orthodox na yun, yung mga nag-iiba ang kanilang pag-interpret pagdating sa essence and attributes of God. So he tried his best to justify kalam. So tinry nila ang kanilang best para ma-justify yung kalam or para ma-justify yung speech. For this purpose ay sumulat sila ng risala. Ang risala na ito ay entitled Rislah fi Istihsan al-Kaud fi Ilm al-Kalam, A Vindication of the Science of Kalam. So itong risala na ito is tatanging vindication pagdating sa science of kalam. Pangalawa is yung Al-Ash'ari ay kinountered niya or dinipensahan niya yung mga taong naniniwala o yung mga taong kontra pagdating sa Islam, especially sa kanyang books o sa kanyang aklat na Al-Luma and Al-Ibana. So kinriticize din niya yung Kharija pagdating sa kanilang stricto na paniniwala sa Wa'id, those anthropomorphists believing in God, human form or body, and especially the Mu'tazilites for denial of attributes. So kinriticize niya yung Kharija at yung mga Mu'tazilites na ang Panginoon daw ay having o merong human form or body, at dinideny nila yung attributes ng Panginoon or yung God. din nila yung beatific vision. So, next. It is a peculiarity of Al-Ash'ari that before answering it, he positively puts the question of the opponent. The opponents of Kalam, says Al-Ash'ari, calumniate him who scrutinizes the basic dogmas of religion and accuse him of deviation. It is innovation and deviation they claim. To engage in kalam about motion and rest, body and accidental modes and states, the atom and the leaf, and the attributes of Creator. So, pagdating sa answering portion ng Al-Ash'ari, ay kakaiba yung estilo na ginagawa nila. Pagdating sa kanilang opponent o pagbigay ng question ng kanilang opponent. So, kakaiba yung kanilang estilo o approach ng Al-Ash'ari. So, the opponents of Kalam says Al-Ash'ari calumniate him who scrutinizes the basic dogmas of religion and accuse him of deviation. So, pinasinungalingan nila daw yung kumbaga kung sino daw yung mga sumusuri ng mga basic belief yung pagdating sa religion, and inaakusahan nila ng deviation. So, it is innovation and deviation they claim. So, kiniklaim daw nila na innovation at deviation yung kanilang ginagawa. At para daw ma-engage sila sa in-kalam about motion and rest, body and accidental modes and states, the atom and the leaf, and the attributes of the Creator. So, dapat ay paniniwalaan nila yung mga attributes, accidental, body, and rest, motion, modes, and states para sila ay magiging isa o magiging isahan yung kanilang pag-interpret pagdating sa sinasabing kalam. So, next is, he further says, they assert that if it were a matter of guidance and rectitude, the Prophet and his companions would have discussed it. For they say, the Prophet did not die until he had discussed and explain all needful religious matters. He left nothing to be said by anyone about the affairs of their religions or religion needful to Muslims, and what brings them near to God and removes them far from his anger. Illustrating their viewpoint, he further says, since no kalam on any of subjects which we have mentioned has been related from the Prophet, we know that such kalam is an innovation and such inquiry a deviation. For if it were good, the Prophet and his companions would not have failed to discuss it. For the absence of such kalam on the part of the Prophet and his companions can be explained in only two ways. Either they know and were silent about it, or they did not know it, nay may ignorant of it. Now if they know it and did not discuss it, then we also may be silent about it, as they were, and we may abstain from plunging into it, as they abstained. For if it were a part of religion, they could not have been silent about it. On the other hand, if they did not know it, then we may have the same ignorance of it. For if it were a part of religion, they would not have been ignorant of it. So according to both explanations, such kalam is an innovation and plunging into is a deviation. So karagdagang sinabi ng Al-Ash'ari ay pagdating daw sa kalam ay kung bago daw namatay ang propeta Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam ay diniscuss niya at inexplain niya mabuti yung mga kinakailangan sa religion o kinakailangan sa relihiyong Islam. So he left nothing to be said by anyone about affairs of the religion needful to Muslim. So wala siyang iniwan na kasabihan o mga salita na nag-a-affair sa relihiyong Islam o sa relihiyon na kinakailangan ng mga Muslim. Ang kanyang dinala lang ay to bring them near to God and removes them far from His anger. So yan yung sinabi na karagdagan ng Al-Ash'ari pagdating sa propeta at sa kanyang mga companions. So dito is makikita natin yung ano yung mga kabutihan ng propeta Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam at kanyang mga companions pagdating sa paniniwala sa kalam. So ito yung naging contribution ng Al-Ash'ari pagdating sa Islamic thought. So in the next tackled or topics ay madidiscuss pa natin doon sa unahan yung mga contribution ng Al-Ash'ari pagdating sa Islamic thought. So next, this is the summary of their argument for abstaining from reasoning about the basic dogmas of religion. Al-Ash'ari rejected their argument for 3 reasons. Firstly, he reverses their argument against them, saying, "It is true that the Prophet never said, 'If anyone should inquire into that and discuss it, regard him as a deviating innovator, since you have discussed something which the Prophet did not discuss, and you have accused him of deviation whom the Prophet did not so accuse." So ito yung summary ng kanilang argument sa pag-abstain from the reasoning about the basic o about the pinaka-basic na belief sa isang relihiyon. So ang unang-unang ni-reject ng Al-Ash'ari sa kanilang argument is yung statement na it is true that the Prophet never said, "If anyone should inquire into that and discuss it." So ito yung first reason kung bakit na ni-reject yung argument na yun. So punta tayo sa next page. So secondly, Al-Ash'ari admits that the Prophet was not ignorant of any item of the kalam, though neither he nor his companions ever discussed them. At the same time, he also admits that the basic principles of the kalam regarding body and accident, motion and rest, etc. had been mentioned in the Quran in general terms. About motion and rest, he says, their basic principle is present in the Quran, where they prove the affirmation of God, oneness, and so for union and separateness. In relating what his friend Abraham said in the story of setting of the star and the sun and the moon, and their being moved from place to place, God said what proves that his Abraham's clothes cannot be subject to any of that, and that one who is subject to setting and translation from place to place is not the divinity. So dito sa second reason ng Al-Ash'ari is inadmit nila na ang Propeta Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam ay hindi ignorant pagdating sa kalam o sinasabing kalam. Kahit ang mga companions ng Propeta Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam ay hindi nila na-discuss ito o hindi niya na-discuss sa kanila. At the same time, he also admits the basic principle of the kalam regarding body and accident, motion and rest. So, inadmit nila yung pinaka-basic principles ng kalam pagdating sa body and accident, motion and rest, etc. So, ito ay binanggit din sa maluwalhating Quran in general terms. So, about sa motion and rest naman ay sinabi nila their basic principle is present in the Quran. So, ang pinaka-basic daw na principle pagdating sa motion and rest ay ma-represent in the Quran para daw ma-prove the affirmation of God's oneness and so for union and separateness. So para daw maniwala sila na ang God is oneness and so for union and separateness. So and relate nila nito kay friend nila na si Abraham. In relating what his friend Abraham said in the story of setting of the star and the sun and the moon, they're being moved from place to place. So what God said, what proves that his Abraham's lords cannot be subject to any of that, and that one is subject to setting and translation from place to place is not a divinity. So dito sa kay Abraham na story is nirelate nila yung second reason ng Al-Ash'ari sa story ni Abraham. So next. So about the oneness of God, he quotes verses from the Quran. Similar is the case with his justice also. Thereafter, he raises the question regarding the possibility or impossibility of resurrection of the body and argues its possibility by quoting some verses from the Quran. In his support, he also uses rational argument because some people, according to him, denied both the first creation and the second and maintained the eternity of the world. Allowed enter their minds simply because they said, "It is our experience that life is wet and hot and death is cold and dry, akin to the nature of earth. How then can there be any amalgamation of life and earth and the decayed bones, resulting in a sound creation, since two contraries do not combine? For this reason, then they deny the resurrection." So about naman sa kaisaan ng Panginoon o kaisaan ng God ay kinote nila yung isang verses from the Quran. Similar in the case is the case with his justice. So thereafter, he raises the question regarding the possibility or impossibility of the resurrection of the body and argues its possibility by quoting some verses from the Quran. So, niraise nila yung question regarding sa possible or impossible daw na pag-resurrect ng ating katawan, and inargue nila yung possibility na magko-quote yung iba ng some verses from the Quran. So, yan yung ibang contribution ng Al-Ash'ari pagdating sa Islamic thought. So, in the last page is, or in the last topic is, matatopic natin dito natin malalaman yung mga batayan kung bakit kung bakit may mga contribution ng Al-Ash'ari sa Islamic thought. So the last is Al-Ash'ari answers. It is certainly true that two contraries do not combine in one substrate or in one direction or in what exists already in the substrate, but they can exist in two substrates by way of propinquity. So, ang sagutan ng Al-Ash'ari pagdating dun sa dalawang magkatunggali o dalawang kumukontra na hindi sila nagiging combine in one substrate or in one direction or in what exists already in substrate. Bagkus sila ay nagkakaiba ng mga interpretation pagdating sa sinasabing kalam o in terms of dogmas, religion, or in belief in religion. So God argued against them by saying, "He who makes fire for you from the green tree, for lo, you kindle fire from it," in chapter 36, verse 80. So in saying that, God referred them to their own knowledge and experience of the emergence of fire from green tree, notwithstanding the heat and dryness of the former and the coldness of the latter. Again, God made the possibility of the first production a proof of the possibility of the last production, because it is a proof of the possibility of the propinquity of life to earth and decayed bones, and of making it a sound creation. For he said in chapter 21, verse 104, just as we created man the first time, so we shall restore him. So, dyan nagtatapos ang ating report sa araw na ito. So, that's all. Thank you for the listening to my report, and shukran. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh.